All right, good morning. Derrick Ellingson with Ellingson Companies. I got Karl Guetter here from Prinsco, and we will give a quick brief overview of what we're conducting out at the Grand Farm and a couple highlights of what's going on within our companies. So thank you.
Thanks, Derrick. I just need to start out by thanking Derrick and the Ellingson Companies for bringing Prinsco along on this journey with Grand Farm. We're super excited and giving us the opportunity to talk a little bit today about Prinsco as a company. Prinsco was founded in 1975 through the purchase of the Prinsburg Tile Company. Prinsburg Tile Company was a small company in Prinsburg, Minnesota that made concrete drainage tile. Shortly after the purchase, they realized that polyethylene pipe, plastic tile was the future that was going to allow the efficiencies for contractors and farmers to get the value out of their land. So fast forward 47 years, we're now spread across North America, specifically through the Corn Belt, and now also on the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest with manufacturing plants and also some distribution yards. You know, our mission at Prinsco is to care, to contribute, and to solve. And that's really the fuel that keeps us going every day as we try to look for continuous improvements in technology and automation and education to help drive the water management business forward. Next slide, please. So a couple things I just want to highlight pertain to technology and also automation is some of the work we've been doing in our Fargo factory right now and also in our Wilmer testing facility. If we back up, say 20 years, the plastic that we would haul, the plastic drain tile we would haul out to the Grand Farm would basically come from 100% virgin resin that we would have purchased from one of the large petrochemical companies. But due to some increases in technology in both testing of resin and also the blending process, we're able to get a really good look at what's inside that resin, what are the properties. We're able to take what we have and blend it in a way that we can actually produce a resin material that started out as just being an acceptable form of resin, which you can use to make plastic pipe. Today it's, in a lot of cases, it's the preferred resin to use in plastic pipe. So what does that really mean? So at the end of the day, in 2022, Prinsco kept 60 million pounds of plastic out of our landfills. We turned that into pipe to put in some of your own farm fields to help with production agriculture. I think that's a great story. We love telling that story, and hopefully we have more stories like that to come. Next slide, please. Automation, making plastic pipe, it's a fairly labor-intense endeavor. So we're not immune from the shortages in labor that you guys all face in your own businesses. So we continue to look for automation to try and help solve those issues. We have a plant here in Fargo. Our Fargo plant is one of our flagship plants. And this year in that plant in Fargo, we're implementing an automated sock machine that basically takes the place in the picture shown. You'll see the top. Putting sock on pipe used to be a 2 or a 3-man job. As of May 2023, we now have an automated sock installer. Basically takes fabric, welds it on the pipe. It's downstream pipe equipment. Doesn't slow down the process at all. And it's going to be huge in terms of us being able to supply Derrick and his company and all the other installers with sock material as we move forward. We're also purchasing some high-speed corrugators out of Europe. These are allowing us to make more pipe with less resources, right? They run faster. They're smarter machines. They can see what's coming at them better than what the machines of the past could do. And our next project is going to be working on some automated packaging equipment, also just to speed up the process and also increase the quality of what these guys are seeing in the field, what we're going to be shipping to Grand Farm. And the last slide I just want to touch on today is water quality. It's a huge issue. We all know that. At Prinsco, we know we can be part of the solution. We host a website called the Water Table. The Water Table, and you can link to the Water Table directly from our company website. The Water Table's got a ton of information on water management, but specifically around some of the best management practices. We show a picture of some top left controlled drainage, bottom left saturated buffer, and a denitrifying wetland on the right. You guys are putting a denitrifying wetland working out at
Yep,
Grand
that's
Farm
correct.
as we
Yep.
move forward. So I encourage you guys to go to that website, visit the water table. There's also a link on the water table that'll take you to the podcast. It's a bi-weekly podcast. Just take a look at the website, and I'm sure you'll find something of interest there. And thanks again for the opportunity to be with you today. Thank you.
All right, quick overview of Ellingson Companies here. Quick history, 1970, my grandfather started the company. Fortunate enough to be a third generation participant in the company's organization and owner. You can see here, this has kind of been the timeline. We are more diversified than just in water management. So next slide here, you'll see we've got locations scattered throughout the United States. Our corporate office is down near Rochester, Minnesota, and some other satellite offices around, and Fargo being one of the key offices as well here in the Red River Valley. Our vision here at Ellingson, obviously, to be recognized as a value-based, family-owned company providing innovative solutions that drive sustainable success for us and our clients. And our mission is pretty simple: to enhance utility and value to everyday life by partnering with stakeholders to improve management, deliver life cycle of world's most valuable resources, and water being one of them. And we operate in many different aspects, and energy as well. But obviously water is one of the most valuable resources to the nation. So here's the different industries that we have within our company. You can see agricultural being one of the founding of it as well. We were farmers back in the 70s and 80s into the early 90s. We did get into underground utilities, commercial, industrial, pipeline distribution. We also own an environmental company as well. And then technology being the last company that is the newest to the organization. And we've seen the need and desire for technology and stacked hands that we want to, how we're involved and where we want our revenue to come from over the future of the company. Little overview of the company. We have 450 employees at Ellingson today on the roster, roughly 50 crews scattered throughout the United States working, and over 1,100 pieces of equipment and assets running around working. Here's a map. It's kind of an interesting map. This is, people ask us, where do you guys look? Where do you go? Water management is not an isolated issue. It's a worldwide issue. We do get calls from all over the United States and in the world as well. You can see here, these are kind of where do we target, and we've overlaid different data within there. Where are tile plants? You can see the red dots on there. There's where there's manufacturing facilities, and where are these issues and where do they exist today? Ellingson technology, obviously, like I said, I touched briefly on it. It's very important to the ownership group here at Ellingson. So you guys can all jot this down, but we are currently getting ready to launch an app that we feel is hopefully going to be a very successful tool for growers to help navigate their water management on the field level. This platform is going to have a bunch of cool tools within it. We went out open sourcely, grabbed lots of free things and brought them in: ownership, soil maps, topography. But probably one of the coolest features is that John Deere recognized that what we have going, and they've allowed us to let you guys that are running JD operations to bring in your yield maps. With that, we've been able to take your water management maps, your yield maps, your soil maps, create a overlay data of all that stuff, and try and provide you guys with tools to start making more informed decisions at the farm level. Everything that the industry's been built around has been hundreds of years of water management, and so how do we try to make it better? You can see there's a list of different things that will be tools and features accessible to that. The second thing that we have recently launched is the ability to run your lift stations from your cell phone. What a great tool to have. These guys, obviously a mechanical pump that's very, it's a necessary tool here in the Red River Valley, as flatted as it is. We developed this tool to be able to have farmers be able to turn off their pumps, see if they fault out, what's going on during the power surges, different things that can happen. So excited about that as well. And like I said, we've got, I think, over 400 pumps online today. So we'll continue to grow that and collect data from that as well. And we can see different things behind the scenes, and it's all going to go to good use here in the future. So that brings us to where we are today. So Karl, you can step up here if you want to. I mean, not a whole lot to say, but obviously the Grand Farm, and we do appreciate the partnership that we're building with the Grand Farm and their team. This is a couple tweets. Our Government Affairs Director, Levi Otis, so kindly put this together, but back in 2019 when they launched the Grand Farm Initiative, these were a few of the tweets that came out, and I think it's what all of us said, hey, we got to take a step back and look at how we can provide water management, how are we going to make this as successful as all the investors and participants in the Grand Farm. So that brings us to today, obviously the Grand Farm, the partnership between Ellingson and Prinsco. We're honored to be a part of it, and today, obviously, we are announcing our $350,000 in-kind contribution to the Grand Farm to put together a comprehensive water management plan for the farm. So, anything else you want to add? So I took a couple of snapshots, and in our industry, it's really nothing. It's not crazy what we do, but obviously, how do you try and put a presentation together for a team like you guys? I grabbed our map that a normal grower would get from us. You can see we overlaid the site itself and how it's all going to tie together. I kind of thought this was a neat slide of obviously the topography, some of the challenges that exist out there on this site. So after doing a further analysis, deep dive underground, studying the sand, soils, and silt clays, we've stacked hands to put together a 40-foot on-center tile project. And with that, we said, what can we do to try and add the innovation side to water management, which is over hundreds of years old in the industry. So we threw together some 3D rendering drawings of the site. One of the features that's going to be out on the site is there will be 2 lift stations. One of them will be located near the county road. This lift station, we will have primary power to it, but we are going to focus on developing solar power to run a 5-horsepower pump that will be necessary to remove the excess water off this field. We're excited about it. We don't currently have any solar pumps out there, so we're excited to install this system on this part of the system. This would be on the north side of the ditch is where this will be located. The second pump, obviously we touched a little bit on it. Karl touched on it with the denitrifying wetland. We are going to install a denitrifying wetland as well and monitor the water that comes out and try and help progress forward the nitrate and phosphate and runoff stuff that happens out there and some of the things that happen in water management that you guys all read about. But this particular lift station we're going to partner with BWR on. This one will be hydrogen powered, so this will be the first ever hydrogen powered pump as well. So another new technology, a local team here in Fargo that's manufacturing them. So we are super, super excited to be able to put that lift station together and to power that and study that as that goes on another solution for places where direct power isn't readily available. Lastly, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, but obviously I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be your guys' partner in water management at the Grand Farm.
Yeah, thank you to Grand Farm again. We appreciate it. And I think it's really cool as we talk about, a lot of people talk about technology, right? We have all had a piece of technology or a piece of automation or a piece of education, in our presentations today. And to me, at Prinsco, this is what makes it fun to be able to work with you guys, because in order to have an autonomous vehicle drive, we need to have dry soil, right? In order to have dry soil, we need pipe. We don't want to have pop bottles and water bottles in our landfill, right? So bringing this all together to me is just a ton of fun, and thank you very much.